Hello, John.
Hello, Oliver.
And today we're going to talk about members of society in Ireland that have positions of power and their attempt to remove the Bible in the judicial system in Ireland.
That's right. It's just a recent occurrence that has been reported, and I don't see it widely debated, funny enough. Now, not that I'm looking, I don't see it widely debated that I would have expected. But I am informed by correspondence that let me know what's going on. That President Michael D. Higgins, the President of the country, a man called Fergus Finlay, I think he's a barrister. He was chairman of Barnardo's Children's Home, a former advisor or personal advisor to Dick Spring, the former leader of the Labour Party, and he was a minister. Dick Spring was a minister for Foreign Affairs during the Prime Ministership of Albert Reynolds, who was one of the best Prime Minister's Taoiseachs that we ever had, and was instrumental in forging the links for the peace that has occurred now in this country. But he was Dick Spring withdrew support on a pretext with the advice of this Fergus Finlay, who was his advisor and now, as I say, was the director and chairman of Barnardo's job for the political establishment, the elite, if you like. Mm-hmm. Now, he's not in that now. He's retired, but he's still active with President Higgins, with David Norris. Senator David Norris, no longer a senator, but a senator for years in the Dáil, spoke on in the media very frequently and was always a guest on the Late Late Show, and you name it, he was on it, including newspapers. So he was well supported and interviewed. And a fella called Brady, I can't think of his first name, and then Roisin Chartall, a leader of a political group in the Irish Parliament, the Dáil. Now, she is taking the case to Europe, and what these people are about is they don't want to have to swear or for the Bible to be in court or any judicial place where a Bible is needed for you to sort of swear on the Bible, which has been going on for years and is a well respected way of telling the truth when you swear on the Bible. Them and Atheist Ireland are also behind it. They want to do away with the Bible in courtrooms and perhaps anywhere else where they might be used for the purposes of people giving evidence or testimony in some way. So Roisin Chartall, the leader of a political party in the Dáil, is taking the case to Europe. The question I pose is, who's paying for this case? Is it taxpayers? They're hardly doing all this with their own expense. They're not noted for doing anything with their own expense. They're even not noted for ever creating any employment, except for their own cronies and special jobs. So this is the hallmark of a secular government that doesn't seem to have any, they know no bounds. They're seeking to do away with the Bible in courtrooms, which is what people give evidence when they swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. A very important witness, and anyone that does that and gives false evidence should be prosecuted. There's many a one commits perjury, and apparently it is no case taken against them when they give false witness for somebody that might have committed a crime.
So the Bible was kind of used as a deterrent to mistruths in the court system, wasn't it?
Well, it's to make sure that the person, when you swear in the Bible, you have to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you can be you're purging and you can be prosecuted. But in this jurisdiction, because of the nature of the way the courts have gone siding with the government, there doesn't seem to be too many prosecutions for that, which people apparently have done it. And there's one particular recent case where I know it happened, and the person that was involved was found. The person that inflicted verbal and potential physical injuries on a person lost, and even though everything was for their favour, and one person gave a witness for them that it wasn't them, so they perjured themselves because the justice didn't accept that, and awarded the person compensation and a letter from the person that made the allegations of sorrow. Mm-hmm. And a monetary and paying monetary compensation, €500 or €600, and it was well deserved by the person that the Gardaí brought the case on their behalf, even though there was barristers and all for the other side, so they didn't succeed at the end of the day. So that's an example of where the Bible is so important for people to tell the truth, and people that tell the truth are believed. Now here we are with people that have the highest position in the land, the President of Ireland, who should be above all this type of thing, adopting this attitude. What about the 80% of people, 85% of people that claim to be Christian in this country and are Christian, even if they're not practicing their faith, but they are Christian? They should be affronted. There should be a hue and cry about it, but they're bringing it to Europe, so to get them to agree to it, and then perhaps have a referendum, and sort of railroad it through the way they did. So this is what the secular crowd that were ruling the country, this is what they inflicted, and I believe that there's others supporting that in this secular government. So where do you go from there? One example of what they are capable of doing, without advertising a position, an important position in the United Nations, they suddenly, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Simon Coveney, a defeated leader for the Fine Gael party, supported her employment on this role for the discussed freedom in the United Nations, and he said a very paltry fee of 15,000 and expenses, and it was criticised by the opposition as being favouritism and cronyism, but he defended it and wanted to know how anybody could find fault with it. And apparently she had approached Gilmore, the former leader of the Labour Party in the Dáil when they formed a biggish party in 2011, and he wasn't a wet month in the job when he closed the Irish embassy to the Vatican on cost grounds, which was the most ludicrous statement you could make. So he was the one that was promoting a former foreign minister for this abode. But now she had accepted it, had canvassed for it apparently, and now because of the criticism she withdrew her name. But there's mud in the face of the Fine Gael party. Apparently Micheál Martin, the Taoiseach and Prime Minister of the country, knew nothing about it. But he went along with it. But for some reason or other, she has decided not to accept the position because of criticism. But the criticism was very little as far as I can say. But anyways, that's what happened. So that's an example of the sort of cronyism and the sort of agenda that they are pursuing, we have to be very careful, and one can see once again the need for the Christian TV Ireland project that we were speaking about earlier, to try and deal with this. Where are we going to have a discussion? Where are we going to have an open discussion about this from the lay person's point of view? It'll be experts.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you very much.